Welcome back, my gardening friends. Well, February tour. All the bushes now are just throwing out their buds, and I think we made a good job of opening up the crowns. And the first signs of some of the rhubarb on the strongest crown in the fruit cage. Everything else is looking really good. This blackcurrant bush is doing exceedingly well. The actual buds are almost starting to break open, and the red currant's not much life yet. Not sure whether this is the one that we had the crop off last year, and this is the one we didn't, and it's got some shoots at some buds at the top, so hopefully it'll be okay. Purple sprouting broccoli, well, it's starting to form. It's about the only brassica that you have to leave in the ground for such a long time. We can take that one out the top as soon as it's big enough, and then we'll get all the side shoots. And all three are showing signs of a bountiful crop. The leeks that were the worst ones from the allium leaf miner are still doing okay here on plot 3. And I was thinking about taking some of that cabbage now. It's just the growths, the babies. But we'll be doing a February vegetable harvest anyway. So let's go and move into the onion cage. A little bit of hit and miss with the electric red onions. I think I will start them off in modules next time. I'm really pleased with the elephant garlic there that Mike Hurdis sent me. These are the onions that we started in the grow room, and they're not looking very happy. They've been in the ground there about 2 or 3 weeks now. I had some onions given to me, so I've popped those in. Completely unknown variety. We move on to 2 rows of Mammoth Improved, and then another row of Mammoth Red. They're the best that came out of the grow room, and some more there of Pete's. No, they're the Bedfordshire Champions. I must bring those out of the greenhouse grow room to put into this space here now. Yeah, the Swedes are still holding up well. And I didn't realise I'd actually got some beetroot in between these, and some of them are just starting to regrow again, so might take some of those leaves for the salad. I'll just try one. A little bit soily, but never mind. Compost, compost and more compost. No, stuck for words. But that was from originally up the top end. It wasn't drying out. I need to dry out so I can sieve it, because I need all that cocoa coir. This was part of a recent find. And then there is 1,000 litres of another recent find. The other 1,000 litre will show you on the hashtag starting a new allotment on plot 1. And the flowers are now just started to form on the broad beans. Now there won't be any pollinators about, so I'm going to be doing a little bit of tickling to try and get a few early beans, and give it the end of the month and I'll take away this covering. They should be okay now. Hopefully we won't get any really bad weather. So because I've been getting so much compost, I thought, what can I do with this? So I thought I might as well spread it over this cardboard. Now the cardboard's reasonably wet, and well, let's go and tread on it. Let's see how the worms are doing. Move these things about a bit. earlier on there was absolutely loads, and there probably is, but they don't like the light once you open it up. But as you can see, the cardboard's breaking down nicely now. Worms are doing a good job, so let's spread this out. Well, 1,000 litres doesn't go far, especially if you have to actually pay for it. No, pleased with that. That'll be ready for the brassicas. I've had one or two signs of a little bit of activity by the frogs, so I've moved the chair now to there out of the way. And here are some of the barrels that are going into the polytunnel. Now once you cut these barrels, top and bottom, they warp. So what I've been doing is rotating this barrel that's got a bottom and just slotting it in just so that it keeps its shape. I did have a comment about the onions hanging outside. Now they were going a little bit mouldy and looked like they were going to go rotten on me, so I've just hung them outside. They've had the cold weather and everything. Yes, they are growing, but out of one onion, by the time you've taken out the green bits that have started to grow, you still get a really good bit of onion, and bar gum, it does make the old eyes water. So I might hang them outside next year. We're moving to the polytunnel, and I'm getting there slowly. I've got 3 more barrels to fit. There's 2 barrels empty now, waiting for me to do a bit of sieving. Paintbrushes at the ready to paint up the sides of the raised bed, and by the time the end of the month comes, I'll be putting these cuttings from various bushes I got off another allotment before we ripped them all out and burnt them, so they can stay in here for now, and they'll stay in the buckets until probably August, September and into the following year, and we'll see what we've got then and pop them up before the winter. So after a little bit of advice on Facebook, some of the giant vegetable growing communities, I've decided to bring this contraption inside. This is for the long roots. So basically I should be able to bring it into that sort of position. I'm not sure how heavy it's going to be and whether it bows in the middle, but as soon as I've actually soiled all this up, we can put it onto the top one there, and then we can slide it out. I'm not sure how far it'll go, but I don't know how the heck I'm going to lift me compost bin up. Who did that? I probably won't have it going out that far, he says. Mainly because I think it'll just, with the weight, it'll bow down. So sometimes I do things and wait to see what sort of response I get. And with the response, I've decided to put it in here. So I didn't waste my time outside, because everything that I did outside was reusable. I didn't screw it in properly. It was mainly to get a response. And I'd like to thank everyone who give me their input. This is coming along nicely in here. I'm pleased with it. Just running out of time though, and because of that, I'm not actually going to sieve the compost in these barrels out here. I'm only going to sift the compost in the carrot boxes and the parsnip, and it won't be long before I'm actually pulling all these out. There's a lot of small parsnips left in here, and we'll have a look at what carrots are left, and I can get these beds ready then, because it won't be long before we want to plant up. Now last year my swede went rotten, so this time I bought the soil from around the rhubarb plant, which hasn't got any goodness in it, so I'm going to be planting one of the giant swedes into there and into some other areas that have never had any organic fertiliser, and we'll see how they do this year. This is the remainders of the soil from around the rhubarb crowns on plot 1, hashtag starting a new allotment. So I could get the manure down around these crowns. So I've lowered the soil level mainly because when I first put this row in, as you can see on my playlist on hashtag starting an allotment, I put loads and loads of manure. I compacted it, but it sank, which meant the crowns were below the soil, so that isn't what we wanted. So it's had a good little layer of manure. I've topped it off with some of that compost, and then just to tidy it up, because the soil's showing through now, it's rotting down, overspill, so I've topped those up. And the crowns haven't been covered with the manure, but they've had a light covering of the compost. They'll soon come through. I'm hoping that the birds will leave the worms alone that are in this compost. This is dried out a little bit because it's been overnight, but this was covered up pretty well straight away, so the worms should be having a great time. Well, we've just got 6 bags of leaves left now to put into this double pallet bin. Now the leaves are sinking in the 1-ton bags. It doesn't take up so much room, but there's probably room for 1 more bag there, but I do normally wait till I've got 2 bags. So will 20 bags go in here? I hope so. And here's the other 1,000 litres of compost that I picked up. They literally must have tipped it up and blocked a lane, and you could see where somebody had actually shoveled it, ripped the bags open, and just made a track through. I had to wait a while just for it to dry out, but I picked that up the other day. I went back for the last 500 litres, and because people had seen me there, they thought, what's he up to? And they took the remaining material, and it's not bad stuff. I'm sure I'll use that'll go in with the potatoes when I do my potato mix. So chance of 2,500 litres. I only managed to get 2,000, but it's better than nothing. What is it? £5 for 80 litres to buy? I know there's no nutrients in there, but I am going to test it. I'm going to damp it down and test it to see what's in there and how I can add it. That was Brian mentioned that from Allotment Life. My brain's gone, but anyway, yeah, I will be testing all the areas and adding different things to bring it back to the right pH for the vegetables that I'm growing in it. The barrels that I had at home are now cut. These will accept any extra water now, and the other 2 barrels are sitting on top of the others. I'll show you shortly. In a previous video, I showed you how I'm going to water my trees this year. These trees are just over 12 months old now, and last year they desperately needed water to keep them alive. If we don't get such a drought, they won't need any water. But I had 1 or 2 comments about these holes and things falling down them. The pots, I can't find a small enough pot to go inside, and if they are, they haven't got very big holes, so that will now stop anything falling down. And aesthetically, it looks a lot better. It's a little bit early yet, but I really do want to have a look under here to see how my dahlias are doing. I might go on. Let's go on. I'm going to have a quick look. Nothing to report yet, guys. Well, it's surprising how quickly you use manure up, and I've got that little bit left there, and I've got some of the really old stuff in the compost bin that's got the new lid on. That's even better, but definitely need lots of storage space. And again, there's another load of compost there that's been sitting there. It will get used one day, and we'll be doing a separate video on these, but so it's focusing on my hand, but they're growing. And these containers have had them cut off and covered over, but Southpaw Davy said, well, you'll get soil in them. So in a separate video I'll be actually putting soil around these. Well, it's Sunday the 17th. You'll see this for the first time on Tuesday. Sunday the 17th, you'll be looking at my comfrey. You've already watched my comfrey video, my homemade liquid plant foods, compost mixes and activators. On this Thursday, I've been tagged in a challenge to explain my channel name. Now, most people have and will know the reasons for my channel name, and possibly why I'm not... oh, got to stop for a cup of coffee. Well, that's better. So, as you are probably aware, my regular viewers, you've seen quite a few videos this week. I do need to load them up so that I can see what I'm up to. Hopefully they'll slow down soon, but as far as I'm aware, just Thursday, and you'll get another one on Sunday night. I try and upload them, schedule them for 8 o'clock at night for anyone that wants to get in there first. And on that video I'll be tagging 3 people, so if those 3 people who I will contact make a comment on it, so that people can find your channels nice and easy. Happy gardening to you all. Thank you very much to all the new subscribers, old and of course the new ones, the lovely comments and your continued support. Till next time, my friends, ta-ra for now. Recycle, reuse, repurpose.